Okay, this video I'm going to go over creating pages, possibly creating new pages, whether that's some new page you decide you need to have or need to make 3 weeks from now, 3 months from now. But what I'm going to do is go over, as an example, doing a proofing page. And what that's going to do is kill two birds with one stone. I'm not only going to show you how to create a new page if you need to make one, but also how to designate something as password protected, quote unquote. So if you can set up a page or a section that only specific people or a specific person can actually view. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is come to the pages section. So in the back end, we'll see pages and click add new, and that's where I'm at right now. So you'll see I already got a little generic title. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my content. Let me get in visual mode because you're probably in visual mode yourself. And then I'm going to go ahead and drop in some generic content just for the purpose of this demo. Okay, some fake text. Let me go ahead and give this a title. Maybe you name it by the person. So maybe it's Joe Schmo. It's his project, his wedding, his event, whatever the case may be. Maybe I want to make this bold. Bold. You know, actually, let me go ahead and do paragraph, and I can choose a different heading. Be careful with these. Sometimes you can kind of get out of hand and just start making everything styled text, and you end up breaking the fluidity of your website. Meaning, this font here is blue, the next page is green, it's large here, it's not large there, so it's easy to kind of get out of hand. Okay, so I got my generic text, my title, so forth. What I want to go ahead and do is save the draft. I've saved it. What I can also do is I can view this before I even publish it, before I actually save it to be quote-unquote live on the web. I can preview it. Here's my preview. It gave me that heading that I chose, the H4 tag, right? You see right here, H4. That's what I gave this title. Then I went ahead and made the font like this. And so if I do an H3, I'm going to get a different style. Let's go ahead and do H3. Save draft. Now you can't refresh this. Well, actually, I take that back. You can. So there's a different text. You'll see that. I'll go ahead and put this back at H4 because it looks nicer doing it. So I would suggest, if you're going to use some different heading tags throughout the site, be consistent. If you're going to use H4, use it everywhere. Don't H4 here, H3 there, H5 there, that kind of a thing. You know, be consistent with what you're doing. Okay, so now we've got a little bit of text. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and drop an image into here just because. So I'm gonna place my cursor where I want my image to begin. I'm gonna click this add an image icon. And I'm going to actually grab an image from the library as opposed to grabbing it from my computer. And let's just go ahead and do just, I guess, any image. It doesn't really matter at this point. Alright, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to do it, I guess medium size, 300 by 225 is pretty good. I'm going to click insert into post. I have it left justified, so now it's going to be on the left of the text. Insert. There we are. Save my draft. Refresh. Yeah, and there we are. A little bit of text, blah, 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 blah. Nothing too exciting. Now what I want to show you is, when I keep using the term template, you'll see over here on the right, page attributes, parent, ignore that, then template. That's basically telling this page what to look like, telling the proofing demo page that I'm currently making how to lay out. So the default template is really what you want to use. However, if you click the drop down, you're going to see these other selections. For the most part, I shouldn't say for the most part, you really don't want to use any of these because your site is very specific in its layout. Your About Us has these bio sections that change when clicked. Your blog is obviously your blog layout. Your contact page has a specific contact layout. Your portfolio, your services, and so forth have a specific layout and how they're generated. So maybe you were going to do a services page, or maybe it's actually, let me use a different one. Let me use contact. Maybe you would have a second contact page. Well, you would use that to provide different information if you're making a different template. I know it's kind of a lot to go over right now. It might be a little tough to follow, but for the most part, ignore these. This is how your other site is put together. So if you go to another page, let's say your contact page, and you look at the template and it says contact, that's why, because it's following the contact layout. The default template is really what you want to follow throughout the site. Okay, now let me show you some really cool screen options. Check this out right here. Revisions. Check this. Now what you're going to see, basically, it records every time you make a save, you make an edit, it records it. So let's say you've made this page, and tomorrow, the next day, next week, you come in here and you make a change, and oh my God, you just ruined this page. You can't fix it. Well, what you can do is come back to the most recent version before your change, so you'll see the timestamps. Click this, and here's our page. This is the HTML for this page. Now, you'll notice the image is not inserted, so that's basically because I'm choosing a version that does not have that inserted. So if I chose the one that has the image inserted, it would automatically set it up to be that one. So what would happen is you would copy and paste this into the page you're working in. So remember that if you ever make a mistake, you ever goof something up, you can come back into the revision section and you can click it. Up here is your HTML. You're going to want to paste, copy and paste this into the page you're working on, but very key and very important, you need to paste this in HTML mode. So if I click the HTML tab, this is where you want to paste it. Pasting that into the visual editor does not do anything. Sorry about that. I had a train passing through. Okay, now we've got the content set up. We're ready. This is going to be a proofing page. I want to password protect it. I only want so-and-so to see it, or so-and-so group, or whatever the case may be. I'm going to come over right under the preview section, the publish section. See this right here? And we'll see basically what's going on. Right now it's in draft status. We haven't published it. We have, is it the visibility, which is what we're going to go over. Public, anybody can see that. And then the date. So let me go ahead and publish this, making it live, but really still no one can see it. Even though it's live, only Google can find it, but no one's going to have this page unless you give it to them. Alright, but what we want to do is get some sort of login, some sort of password. Just by chance someone actually is able to find it, we don't want them to see that unless we, give them the information to be able to view that. So what you want to do is click the public edit button right here next to visibility. See that? It's public. You want to do password protected, and basically make up your password. So obviously that's up to you. You're going to want to write them down. Maybe it's the name of the client or whatever. So for this one, I'm just going to be silly and give it something really, really generic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to update my save basically. Alright, now let's go ahead and see if we can view that page. So view page, right here, view page. And you'll see, protected, proofing demo. This post is password protected. To view, enter in the password. So I'm going to enter in the password. There's your page. So basically, that's how you're going to do it. I don't know what your system is, what you're showing to people, but you're going to create a password, and then you can give that to the people you want to give it to. And just a side note, if you don't put the page in one of your menus, and I mean your main menu here, it's not going to show up on your website. Only Google can find it. People can probably find some way to magically search and find it, but you're going to have to give out the link to the page if it's not in one of your menus, as well as give out your password, the password protected page's password. So whatever the demo is, or the page link is, you got to give out both those links of information. Alright, we're approaching 10 minutes, which is usually 5 minutes longer than I really want to go over in the demo. So I hope that helps you